Hi and welcome to my channel. So as you know, there has never ever been a better time to move to the UK than now. Look, there are so many visas currently offering visa sponsorship, particularly targeted at, non-EU citizens. There are also different pathways. The UK government has put in a lot of money and effort in order to increase and aid that overseas recruitment. But look, some countries and some governments, especially those in Africa, are determined to work against this plan. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you the Nigerian government, the law that they have recently passed to restrict the recruitment of healthcare professionals, in the UK, whatever country. It's not only the UK, but it's going to affect all, people basically in Nigeria that want to move overseas and work. So it doesn't matter, obviously, the profession in which you are, whether you're a carer, you're a nurse, you're a doctor, you're a dentist, obviously it's going to affect all these different roles. And like I've said, the government is determined to restrict movement of healthcare workers overseas, and they've got the reasons, which again in this video I'm going to explain what they've agreed on, what they're proposing, how it's going to affect you, what you should do right now if you're still in Nigeria planning to move to the UK, what you should do if you're already in the UK, obviously what impact is this going to have, and what should you be doing right now. As we know, where there is a will, there's always a way. But like I always say, make hay while the sun shines. If there are opportunities, you need to take on those opportunities ASAP. If you're waiting and thinking, I'm going to move to the UK next year, I'll start next month, I'll do this, I'll do that. Look, laws are changing. Things are changing. You don't want to be left behind. And to make matters worse, obviously Nigeria is on the red list. So adding to the red list, as well as these laws from the government, is only going to make a bad situation a lot worse. So by the way, if you're new to my channel, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate your time. And look, I'm all about implementation. How you can move to the UK, the most cost-effective ways to move to the UK, the easiest pathways to move to the UK, current, jobs that are offering visa sponsorship, to move to the UK, work from home opportunities, career progression in the UK is something that I'm particularly passionate about, because look, while it is good to move to the UK, what you do with yourself when you get to this beautiful country is ultimately what is going to make all the difference and determine whether you're going to live a beautiful life in this country or not. And so I have a newsletter. It's a free newsletter where I provide information directly to your inbox, so you never miss out on any vital information that is going to help you with this process. If you check the comment section below, you're going to see a link to my newsletter. Once you join the newsletter, anytime there is an update regarding the UK, if there's any job opportunities, any visa changes, whether it's work visas, student visas, laws changing, work from home jobs, like I've said, starting your own side business in the UK. Look, these are all things that I'm very, very passionate about. I don't want you relying on the YouTube algorithm, getting information that you're just kind of thinking, is this real? Is it not real? I make sure that I send that information promptly to your inbox so you never miss out. So again, it's not going to take you up to 20 seconds to join the newsletter. If you check the comment section below, like I've said, I've dropped a link on there. Also, if you've got a question that you want to ask that is kind of like private, or you don't want to use YouTube to do so, by all means, you can use that newsletter, because you're going to find my contact number on there. You're going to find my email on there. But most importantly, you've got all those details really. If you've got any questions while I'm going through this, please leave them in the comment section below. I'm going to join you there and we'll have that discussion. If there's anything that you're not sure of, again, I'm going to clarify all of that. So drop your comments in the comment section below. So like I've said, Nigeria is following after Zimbabwe, because Zimbabwe, the government in Zimbabwe has recently announced that they are in fact, they are criminalizing, the movement of healthcare professionals to work overseas, which is something that is massive, something that obviously I don't agree with, but we know that the governments that we choose to have, the governments that we elect, are going to have a huge impact on our futures. So again, if it's time for elections, it's very, very important to vote. And I know people are like, hey, healthcare professionals should not be involved in politics. Some people are like, I don't care about politics. But look, politicians have a huge part to play in our lives. And so that's why, you need to make sure that you go out and vote, because that vote is going to count. It could be that one vote that is going to make all that difference. So Nigeria's House of Representatives has voted that if you're a healthcare professional in Nigeria, you need to work in the country for at least 5 years following, once you graduate, before you can move overseas. Yes, they've already voted this. The law was passed actually last week, because I've been following the progress of this. And it's going to have a huge impact on all healthcare professionals from this beautiful country. And by the way, in case you're watching this and you're wondering who I am, so my name is Melvis. I currently work, as an advanced nurse practitioner here in England, in the UK. I moved to the UK quite a few years ago myself. I was, working as a carer in a nursing home, very keen on career progression. I decided to study nursing. So I studied nursing here in the UK as an international student, and I've progressed beautifully following that, my graduation, to now working as an advanced nurse practitioner, which is, the most senior clinical nursing position. And it is something that I'm very, very passionate about: career progression. What are we doing with ourselves in this beautiful country? And so I have a private career coaching service where I support nurses, carers, students, student nurses, prospective student nurses, people that are looking for visa sponsorship, jobs and opportunities in the UK, so that you can move to the UK without spending thousands of pounds, without spending a lot of time, wasting time, maybe looking for documents that maybe you don't even need. Because look, the UK has so many different pathways that if you don't have the right information, it's going to be incredibly challenging for you to move very fast or move with your family. So my private coaching program is going to support you with which jobs are best for you, which visa sponsorship opportunities should you apply for, where are they, how do you apply, how do you present your CV, what do they need at the interview, how do you prepare for that interview, if you're already in the UK, what are the career pathways that you can get into. You're a carer, for example, what can you progress into? And there are also these non-clinical healthcare jobs that are very highly paid. You don't need any degree, you need no experience, all you need is knowledge. And I cannot say enough how important it is, considering other options that we don't normally talk about. Because as somebody who's had a lot of experience in nursing in the UK, look, if I was coming to the UK right now, I probably would not be doing nursing. I'll probably do other things because of what I now know. And that's why I'm so dedicated to bringing these opportunities to you, so that if you're still out of the UK, you're aware of them. If you're in the UK now, you know that there are other things as well that you can do. So if you check the about section of this YouTube channel, or you check the description box below, you're going to see a link to my private coaching program. Once you join, then you can get that individualized, that tailored, that personalized support that you deserve in order to excel, to thrive, to move yourself forward. So like I was saying, I'm looking forward to seeing you in that program and making sure that we get started. You get the support that you deserve so that you can move to the UK ASAP. If you're already in the UK looking for a different job, maybe you're working in a place that you're thinking, oh my goodness, Melvis, I don't really like this job, or I like the job, but what else can I do? You need to get in contact with me so that you can get that support. We can go through, what else is there that you can do or that is best for you, in order for you to not only earn a lot of money, but for you to have a fulfilled life and have a job that you enjoy. Because look, having a job that you like in the UK, that you feel that it's good for you, is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself. It's not only about money. I know initially it's like, it's all about the money. But once you start the job, you're going to see that, look, it's more than money. Your mental health, your sanity, your own well-being is so incredibly important. And that's what I focus on in the program. So again, if you've got any questions, do leave them in the comment section below. You haven't joined my newsletter, you want to join that newsletter right now. You haven't subscribed to the channel as well, just hit subscribe, turn on that notification button, so you're the first to be notified when I drop a new video on here. Like I was saying, Nigeria's House of Representatives, they argue basically that Nigeria only has about 24,000 doctors, and they should be having at least 363,000 doctors, considering that Nigeria has a population of over 200 million, inhabitants. So if you compare with the UK, for example, the UK is only, over 60 million people, but they have like a huge number of doctors as well as nurses. In fact, when it comes to recruitment, the Nigeria, the lawmakers argue that too many doctors, healthcare professionals, nurses are moving to the UK, and it is not fair. Obviously, like with anything, you've got people that voted against, who are saying that it is not fair. Everybody should be free to move, to do whatever they like. And then some other people said that health education, healthcare and studying in Nigeria is actually subsidized, which means that if you're studying nursing, for example, medicine, I don't know if this is the case, but that's what they were saying anyway, that it is subsidized, which means that because the government is kind of supporting you in a way to do that course, it is but fair that when you complete the course, you work for the government for at least 5 years before you get your full license. And look, the government, there is something that they have done that is going to make all the difference. Because what the government has said is that if you complete your training from a healthcare course in nursing, medicine, dentistry, you cannot have your full license until after the 5 years, which means if you graduate from a university in Nigeria as a doctor, you're not going to have your full license. You will have like a temporary license to practice as a doctor. Only after 5 years of working as a doctor in the country can you have your full license, because the government does understand that without the full license, it is almost impossible. Well, it is impossible for you to move overseas and practice as a doctor or a nurse, because if you're joining the GMC, which is the Doctors Council in the UK, you need to have your registration in Nigeria or whatever country you're coming from. If you're joining the NMC as a nurse, which is the Nursing and Midwifery Council, you need to have full registration in Nigeria as a nurse or midwife. So the government is saying basically once you complete your studies, you're not going to have that full license until after 5 solid years of working. Before now, that has not been the case. It's been the case that if you graduate, once you have your license, even within a year or even 6 months, you can move to the UK and work. So you can see what impact this is going to have. If you're watching this and you're a healthcare professional in Nigeria, currently in the country, how do you feel about these laws? Is it fair? What do you think? Is it good for the country? Is it fair for these healthcare professionals that want to work overseas, despite the government basically saying that they've got no money to increase, the salaries, they've got no intention of improving working conditions, but yet there are so many restrictions, stopping people from moving overseas. So again, leave your comments in the comment section below. If you've got your passport, I want you to leave a comment and say, look, Melvis, I've got my passport. What is your healthcare? What is your role in healthcare? Are you a nurse? Are you a carer? Are you a doctor? Are you a dentist? What is your thought about this? If you're already in the UK, what do you think? And again, do share this video with your, friends, loved ones, colleagues, so that they're aware, because obviously this law has only just been passed. Many people are not aware of it. Some Nigerian colleagues and I have been talking about it at work, and they are very heartbroken, very disappointed with the move that the government is taking towards this whole recruitment process. And they argue that, look, they had no subsidy for their education and that they fully paid for it themselves, and rightfully so should be allowed to move to the UK or whatever country whenever they want. In fact, colleagues were calling other colleagues back home and saying, oh, if you haven't considered moving, look, this is the perfect time for you to do so, because reality is that there are restrictions coming, and many of these governments are very obstructive. Yes, they are very obstructive, because if you're not improving the pay and working conditions, then what's the point for all of this? So again, like I say, I provide support through my private coaching program. If you're looking for visa sponsorship opportunities in the UK, you need to have a spot on CV. As you know, the competition is very high. I support people, so I understand what the challenges are. It is not easy getting these jobs in the UK. And with the red list, more and more countries added to the red list, it becomes even more challenging. Because what this means is that countries like Zimbabwe and Zambia, for example, that were not part of the red list, now that they are, it makes it even more competitive, because you've got more people scrambling for the same jobs. So you need to make sure that you stand out. You need to ensure that your application is spot on. You need to make sure that when somebody is recruiting, and they look at your application, they're like, oh my goodness, Melvis, you're exactly who we need. So again, if you're watching this and you're struggling with anything, whether you're already in the UK or not, please, I want you to leave a comment in the comment section below. Better still, join my newsletter so that I can send that information directly to you for any changes, any opportunities. But most importantly, if you need my personalized, my tailored, and my individualized support, then you should consider joining my private coaching program, so that you can get that support that you need, that you deserve, so that you can continue to excel, to thrive, and to, just progress ASAP. Because like I say, time waits for nobody, opportunities wait for nobody. While you're waiting and thinking, am I ready? Am I not? Other people are making the most of those opportunities. And look, moving to the UK or progressing within the country is not something that is easy. It's not something that just comes naturally. It does take a lot of effort. I understand that. And that's why I always say to people that are part of my program, that they are like the top 1% within the industry. Because like I say, it is not an easy process. If you're somebody who is looking for the easy pathway, you're looking for, something that you're going to do no work, then the program is obviously not for you. It's for somebody who is dedicated, who is ready, and who is willing to do the work that is needed and to follow the pathways that are there, the legal pathways of moving to the UK, of progressing within this beautiful country, so that you can, just thrive and Be the best self that you can be. Because, like I say, it is not moving to the UK that is the only thing. It's what you do with yourself when you get to this country that is ultimately going to make all of the difference. And if you're in the UK right now, you know what I'm talking about, because it is not easy. It is not easy. If you're coming to a job, for example, you're a nurse or a midwife or a doctor, and you come in, and you're doing a carer job or an accountant, there are many people across, from different industries, different sectors that are coming in to do these jobs. And it is not easy once you get here. So you need to make sure that you're making the most of the opportunities. You don't give up when things are hard, because yes, this country is so tough. But there are opportunities once you know how to go about them. Once you understand that you need to continue to excel, you need to continue to improve yourself. It may seem like a long process, but eventually you're going to get there. So hopefully, this has been helpful. Again, it's such a shame that all these laws are coming into place. Like I said, Zimbabwe recently made a similar law, which is a lot worse what Zimbabwe has done, because they are criminalizing, they're making it a criminal offense, actually moving overseas. So again, when you look at the number of Nigerian healthcare professionals in the UK, they're incredibly high. You've got hundreds of nurses and doctors coming in every single month to the UK. And in fact, when you look at recruitment of doctors, Nigeria is the third after Pakistan and India. India is the first, second is Pakistan, and then Nigeria is third. When you look at recruitment for nurses as well, it's the same thing. India again is first, Philippines second, and Nigeria is third. But when you look at the overall number of healthcare professionals moving to the UK from any country, Nigeria is second after India only, which means that when you look at the National Health Service in the UK, the number of Nigerians working there, is the highest number after Indians only. So those are huge numbers. And that's why the government over in Nigeria is saying, look, how can we be training our healthcare professionals to go work overseas? It's not only the UK, obviously, it's all other countries, including the US of A, Australia, Canada. But obviously the UK is the highest country where people move to from Nigeria. And the government said in the last 1 year, about 13,000 professionals have moved to the UK. So again, there's quite a lot that has been said. There's quite a lot that have argued really on both sides. But I just thought I should let you know so that you're aware that this is what's going on, and use this information to inform your plans, to change your plans, to adjust your plans so that you can make hay while the sun shines, because opportunities wait for nobody. On this channel, I've made all sorts of videos about different visas to move to the UK, different pathways that are currently available to move to the UK, free visa sponsorship opportunities, because obviously if you're part of my coaching program, I only offer support for people that legally want to apply for those visa sponsorship opportunities that are free through those employers, those legit UK employers that are not going to charge you any money for your physical sponsorship, rightfully so. And so that's really what it's all about. So I do hope that I'm going to see you in that program, so that we can get started straight away, whether you're already in the UK or you're still out of this beautiful country, but that you're supported, you get that personalized, you get that tailored and that individualized support that you so deserve to move to this country with your family, or live here with your family in a way that you've got access to the best opportunities. Like me, for example, I do not compromise when it comes to opportunities for myself. I go for the best, and I make sure that I leave no stone unturned. That's what you should be doing. So again, I've done all sorts of videos about different jobs, different alternatives to healthcare, because it's not only healthcare that offers visa sponsorship. There's things like construction as well that has recently been added to the shortage occupation list. You've got builders, you've got carpenters, general construction workers, you've got teachers as well, So there are lots of opportunities for you to move, but you just need to put in the effort. You just need to put in a little bit more work that is needed so that you can succeed. Because like I say, it's not easy. Even when you join my program, you get that guidance, you get that individualized support, you get access to those resources, but you've still got to be part of the process. You've still got to make sure that you put in the effort that is needed, because that's what it is. It is what it is. If you don't put in any effort, obviously, in your own professional development, in your own success, in your own journey, then what are you doing? Then what do you expect? Again, if you haven't joined my newsletter, check the comment section below. It's not going to take you up to 20 seconds to join that newsletter. You drop your name and email, and you're part of the newsletter. Also, if you've got any questions, please drop them in the comment section below. On my newsletter as well, you're going to see my contacts. If you have anything that is personal that you're thinking, Melvis, now you say this, I'm thinking about this, please do feel free to use that. So again, it's been such a pleasure having you here, watching this video till now, and I do hope that you found it helpful, even though this may not be the best news that you want to know. But I'm keen so that you know what's going on, because this should help to inform your decisions. This should help to make you know that if you've been putting off your plans and saying next year, then please, you need to do things differently. If you've been applying for jobs and you've not been getting any, what's going on? Leave it in the comment section below, and I'll be able to see if I can help, because I understand the challenges that are faced with moving to the UK. I've been in that position myself. When I moved to the UK, like I said, I was working as a carer in a nursing home. So progressing has taken me time. It's taken me a lot of effort. It's taken me a lot of mentorship, and it's taken me a lot of effort. But in the end, it's all been worth it, because not only do I then earn a lot more, but I'm also having a job that I totally enjoy, and a job that is not as stressful as other jobs that you would have. So for that, I'm very grateful. But again, it's come from hard work, it's come from dedication, it's come from believing in my own abilities, it's come from putting myself out there and saying, look, I've come all the way to this country, I need to be the best that I can be, I need to go for the best. I don't need to compromise. You must never compromise on your goals and your plans. There is no plan that is too big. There is no goal that is too big for you. And if other people can do it, then look, sure, you can. So again, you want to share this video with your mates, with your loved ones, with your colleagues, with your family, with your friends, so that they are aware of what's going on and they can adjust and act accordingly, in order not to get trapped in all these laws, all these unnecessary restrictions that are being brought from all over. So again, it's been such a privilege to have you on here. I do wish you such a beautiful day. Keep watching the videos, and I'll see you in the next video.